All right, today is March 7th, 2025. This is the bond hearing calendar. This is the state of Georgia versus Brandon Wilden. Charged in warrant numbers 2024 WA 85078, drug objects, 2024 WA 85079, VGCSA, 2024 WA 85080, VGCSA, 2024 WA 85081, possession of marijuana, 2024 WA 85082 VGCSA, 2024 WA 85083 VGCSA, 2024 WA 85084 VGCSA, 2024 WA 85085 VGCSA, 2024 WA 85086, possession of a Schedule 1 and 2 drug, 2024 WA 85087, trafficking, 2024 WA 85088, VGCSA, 2024 WA 85089, VGCSA, 2024 WA 85090, possession of a weapon, 2024 WA 85091, firearm by convicted felon. Representing the state is ADA Thomas. Representing the defendant is. So this is a motion to reduce the bond?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all righty. Go ahead, Attorney Rogers, your motion.
Thank you. Judge, I guess I'm not sure exactly where to start from in it. Obviously, we already have a bond on the case, so
First, if you can start by telling me the amounts for each charge.
Okay. Let's see.
Starting with 7-8.
Let's see. Let me try and match them up, Judge, because I'm looking at. Hang on one second. I can pull up my previous
ADA
bond.
Thomas, would you happen to have those handy?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I'm up now. All right, 1 second. I'm trying to work with Adobe. She's cooperating.
I got you, Judge. I'm looking at it now.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, so starting from the one ending in 78, drug objects 500,
Okay.
79, VGCSA 3,000,
Okay.
same for 80, 3,000,
All right.
81, 5,000,
Okay.
82, 5,000, 83, 3,000,
Okay.
84, 3,000, 85, 3,000, 86, 3,000, 87, 25,000, 88, 3,000, 89, 3,000, 90, 5,000, 91, 5,000, for a total of 69,500 on my account.
All righty. All righty, thank you. All right, so go ahead and make your motion.
And Judge, that's kind of finished up. So that bond was set as of January the 10th, is what this order says, 2025. But let's be clear, Mr. Wilden, he's been in since October the 4th, 2024. There was some continuance. I'm sorry, what was the question?
2024? He's been
Yes,
in?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
October the 4th, 2024.
Okay.
And so just kind of explain, because he ended up having his prelim on January the 6th. There was some issues. I think there was some, part of it is that he's got co-defendants, which I'll come back to that. So I think there was some continuances related to that. I think one time he was in another courtroom, so he wasn't available for his prelim because he was in a different courtroom that day. Specifically, just to be candid, that time it was about a VLP, which if I understand is related to these charges. So that's what's going on That was that's why he came in October, but didn't have a prelim until January. But he, like I say, he's been in since October. Just kind of speak to, I guess, the case itself. Obviously, there's a lot of charges, Judge. I'll say a few things about it, without trying to get into completely relitigating the case. What I would want the court to know, though, I think is particularly relevant. Number one, this case stems from a vehicle stop. That vehicle is not owned by Mr. Wilden, not driven by Mr. Wilden. Mr. Wilden is a backseat passenger in the vehicle. And these things were testified to that also in the police report. The Essentially the stop was about something. I guess they claimed the driver maybe was following too close. I think is what the charge was that got them pulled over in the first place. The front seat passenger takes flight when the stop is initiated and the vehicle comes to a stop. The front seat passenger takes flight. They subsequently, to my knowledge, identified and charged that person. The driver, the the arresting officer testified was, I want to make sure I characterize it accurately. I guess the driver will say he was not in a great mood about being stopped. They should call it either kind of combative or essentially being difficult, not physically combative, but like verbally combative. And Mr. Wilden, again, just a backseat passenger in a Chevy Tahoe, no less. The testimony essentially, to my recollection, nothing is in plain sight. The search was because the officer says that she smelled marijuana. Um, the and as far as I can tell, what I recall of judge's ruling, because I provided some case law that says essentially that merely being near contraband is not enough to hold you, especially where it's hidden. But I want to be clear that the fact that it's hidden or not hidden doesn't make you any more liable just for merely being near it. And that's essentially what we have on Mr. Wilden. None of the drugs were alleged to have been found on Mr. Wilden. They're found in the vehicle. And to my recollection, I think they were found in like the center console is where most of the stuff was found. But again, nothing was found on Mr. Wilder, not his vehicle. He didn't run off. He's not arguing with the police. None of that is alleged about Mr. Wilder. So I say all that to say that from a legal standpoint, all they have is mere proximity tying Mr. Wilder to this charge. Like there's no testimony that he was a subject of some sort of investigation or anything like that. And again, like I said, the passenger runs off, the driver is argumentative. That's the word I was looking for earlier. And Mr. Wilden is just essentially having a very bad day for being a passenger in somebody else's vehicle. With that being said, that's kind of the backdrop of the case. The other thing I guess I would like to point out is that Mr. Wilder has been in for a while. At this point, he's been in approaching 5 months. As far as I know, the case remains unindicted, and I know he has a bond set, so it's not a matter of him being entitled in that sense. But we're at 5 months with no indictment. The other, I guess, with that being said, that's the posture of the case, and I say all that to say that from a legal standpoint, I don't think Mr. Wilder really has much to be concerned with in that. Even if he were convicted at trial, the evidence is legally insufficient to charge him. All they have is mere proximity to contraband. So on appeal, it should be overturned, like if it even made it that far. So that's kind of what our position is. So Mr. Wilden doesn't have a reason to make himself unavailable for the court. To kind of get into that part of it a little bit more, his ties to the community. That's why I have a witness handy, Ms. Edwards. So if she could be admitted, Judge, I would appreciate that.
All right. Where did she go? Hold on. I don't see her anymore. She's been there all along. I'm not sure.
Let me,
Reach out to her, because
Yeah.
she's not here anymore.
let me see, because I know she's got children to attend to this morning, so let me see if,
Okay.
let me try and get her back.
I'll stand by for 1 minute.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, she logged, I have her, she came back.
All right, Ms. Edwards, can you, turn on your camera, take yourself off mute, please?
Yes, I'm sorry.
No problem, thank you. Can you raise your right hand, please? Do you
Wait, hold
swear?
on, hold on 1 second. Miss Edwards, do you have a bonnet on?
You said, do I have a who? I'm sorry.
Do you have a bonnet on?
Yes, I'm sorry. My hair wasn't done. I could turn the
got-
camera.
No, you have to be in the camera, but you have to remove your bonnet. I'm sorry.
My hair not done.
But you're coming to court. You
I'm
should have had that together.
Well, Judge, I will say on Ms. Edwards' behalf, she does have some young children to kind of deal with also, so she didn't
I
have
get
a
it,
lot
but
of
I
time.
don't have nothing to do with her wearing a bonnet to court.
Can I just at least try to get it a little bit together and then get back on?
You got 40 seconds.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, I'm back.
Your Honor, I believe Ms. Edwards is back.
All right, that's better, Miss Edwards. You're beautiful no matter what.
Thank you.
Mommy.
I'm sorry
Right.
about the noise from my babies also. I'm sorry.
Okay, and so I think Attorney Rogers, you're a witness. Did you swear her in? You got to swear her in.
Yes,
I don't
ma'am.
think- Okay.
Ms. Edwards, do you swear or affirm that well, you back on mute just so you know when the time comes. But do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
You can put your hand out, and can you please state and spell your name for the record?
You said state and spell my name?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Washika Edwards. That's Wycheka. Edwards, Edwards.
Thank you. And Ms. Edwards, do you know Brandon Wilder?
Yes, he's my spouse.
And how long have y'all been together?
2 years.
And you say he's your spouse. I'm going to assume y'all live together. Is that correct?
Yes, we do.
Oh, yeah.
And obviously, you have a few children. How many children do you have, Ms. Edwards?
We have a total of 9. Well, not biological, but that's who's helping raise them.
When you say not biological, kind of explain that a little for the court just to make sure, I guess.
When I say not biological, meaning that he didn't make them, but that's who's helping raise them. That's who's been there. That's who they know.
Okay, so none of the 9 are with Mr. Wilder?
No, but he's been there since one was 3 months, and he's now 2.
And all of the children, they live with you all?
Yes, they do.
And so if I understand that Mr. Wilder, does he have a role essentially in all of their lives?
Yes, he do.
And I don't know if you recall, but there was a point, we had a conversation one time and you were telling me about, and we don't need to say his name, it's we on YouTube, we don't need to put his name. But do you recall talking to me about his relationship with one of your sons in particular?
Yes, my oldest son, he have a relationship with everyone, but my oldest son, he has psychosis, and that's who helps him when he have his episodes and take him on walks when I can't walk with him and I'm dealing with the other children. And lately it's been affecting him since he's been gone. And with his episodes, he became more depressed because that's who he used to helping him.
And I think I don't know, I can't remember how it ultimately ended up, but did you tell me he either wrote a letter or he was writing a letter kind of about his feelings about the situation?
Yes, he wrote a letter.
And you don't necessarily need to read the whole thing, but did you read it?
Yes, I did.
Do you recall what he was basically saying in the letter?
Basically how he misses him and he needs him, and it's a lot more. I've been just dealing with his episodes just recently, so I just can't remember off exactly what it says in the letter, but I know he misses him dearly.
And how old is he? Your
You said,
son.
how old are you?
How old is your son? Yes, ma'am. The one we're talking about.
Yes,
How old is
he's
he?
15.
And I know you said you mentioned that he's in all of your life, but essentially, is he that way as far as concerned and caring for all of the kids that way?
Yes, he's actually a big help because 9 children, all 9 have different disabilities, so he helps with all of them a lot. I actually had to get them therapy because of it. Because they very much emotional due to him not being here.
Understood. Well, I told you I wasn't going to keep you too long because I know you got a lot of responsibilities right now. So no further questions at the moment.
ADA Thomas, any cross?
Nothing from the state, Your Honor.
All right, and so ADA Thomas, can you or either one of you talk to me about the history?
And Judge, real quick, is Ms. Edwards, is she excused? Can I excuse her?
Yes, Ms. Edwards is excused.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
And Your Honor, when you say history, are you referring to his criminal history? Yeah, and his history it's pretty bad. It goes
What?
back. His history is not good.
Okay.
I understand the witness's concerns and that he's needed at home, but however, since 2005, he's been busy getting arrested with multiple drug history. I understand and I do recall the hearing that we had here, and that Mr. Wilden's position in the car as a backseat passenger, if I'm not mistaken, would lead one to think that he is less culpable. However, the officer's testimony in this matter would clarifies that belief. he is equally culpable as his 4 co-defendants, Your Honor. There's a significant amount of narcotics found inside of the vehicle, along with drug-related objects. And let's see, something else that was found in there. Oh, and a weapon. So on the previous date, the amounts that Mr. Rogers quoted actually appeared to be approximately half of what the state's original recommendation was in this matter. And the problem, at least from my point of view, appears to be is just the sheer volume of cases as to why the amounts, as to what makes the total amount of bond prohibitive. But based on his history, Your Honor, state believes that the amounts that, as quoted by the defense, are fair, and the state would ask that the court leave those amounts as they are.
Right, and so on this case, when was he locked up on this case?
Did you say when, Judge?
Yes, on this case. I remember you said something about October 4th. That was for these cases?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Okay, so he's been there since October 4th.
Yes, ma'am. There's another date that I see on our system of October the 7th, but the earliest date is the 4th.
So he's been approximately 5 months.
Yes, ma'am.
Mhm.
He initially didn't have a bond at all on the bulk of these cases. He received a bond in January for them.
So, Mr. Wilden, you make life more difficult because of your history. I mean, if you had no criminal history and taken into consideration everything Attorney Rogers said, I would be more prone to give you some significant decrease based on the time that you've already spent in jail. But your criminal history is just, it's extensive and it's full of drug charges. What I will do, based on the amount of time that you have been in jail, the total bond, and you guys can, well, actually, let me take that back. I will reduce the trafficking to 15,000. And y'all are writing this down, right? Y'all good?
Yeah, if you give me 1 second, I'm just trying to get
Okay.
to the part.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, now we're ready. All right.
All right, so I will take the trafficking down to 15,000. Then I will take the possession of a weapon during the commission of a crime down to 3,000,
Which one, Your Honor?
90.
Thank you.
And it is the sheer amount of case charges that he has. 79, I'll take down to 2,000.
You said 89, Your Honor?
Yes.
That was 89. It's a little fuzzy on my side for some reason. Did you say 89 to 2,000?
79 to 2,000. I'm sorry, 79.
Uh-oh.
And then 82 to 3,000.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I don't see. You said warrant number ended in 82?
So far, let me start from the beginning.
And I just can't find the warrant. I have a 83.
I have an
And-
82. Yes, there's
Yeah, I
an
have
80.
82. Yeah, I have one too. I see 82. It's a marijuana, it's VGCS say marijuana on
I'm trying to find it. 83, 16, 89. I don't see an 82.
Right, so let me go through and tell you what the new bonds are. And then let's come up with the total amount, just to make sure that's kind of where I was trying to go. So for 78, it's gonna remain at 500. Position 15, which is warrant 79, that's gonna go from 3,000 to 2,000. 80 will remain the same. 81 will go from 5,000 to 2,000. 82 will go from 5,000 to 3,000. 83 will remain the same. 84 will go from 3,000 to 2,000. 85 will remain the same. 86 will remain the same. 87 will be 15,000. 88 will remain the same. 89 will be 2,000 instead of 3,000. 90 will be 3,000 instead of 5,000. And 91 will be 5,000. And if someone can give me a total. One, two.
One moment, then I'll come with my total in a second. Let me just.
I came up with 49.5, but we are attorneys and in the legal field for a reason.
Your Honor, what amount is warrant 85 and 86?
85 is 3,000 and 86 is 3,000.
And then 88, and I'll have your total for you.
88 is 3,000.
49,500 is the total I have.
And good. All right. All right, and so if we can get that turned in, and so Mr. Wilden, let me say, and you can stay on mute, that it appears that you have some juveniles that depend on you. Okay.
Yeah, ma'am.
I said, I see that you have some juveniles that depend on you.
Yeah, ma'am.
They can't depend on you if you're locked up.
Right.
You have a significant history, but now you've got a reason, and you have had a reason to do better, because these young people are going to follow you.
Oh, I've been trying to do it right though. I guess I just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time, man. But I was trying to get back to the foundation.
I get it. And so we have to pick what cards we get in better,
You're right. Yeah, ma'am.
and what we do so that we can be role models for these children. And so, I am, it warmed my heart, the things that Ms. Edwards said that you were doing for her children, and they're not your biological children, so I commend you for that. So go one more step and stay out of trouble. All right, good luck to you, sir.
So thank you.
All righty, and so